All systems go.
All systems go. Welcome once again to Shiftless, episode 151. And we're almost back home. Our second home. It's been a while.
It has been too long.
It's been way too long.
I feel guilty every time I drive by here because I'm like, I need to go see Nico.
So you don't drop by and see him, huh?
Man, I'm always on a freaking mission when I come down this road. That's the thing. I don't leave my house until I have to.
Well, I'm pretty much the same way.
So it's like...
But I guess every time I'm leaving my house, I'm kind of in this neck of the woods. So it's like, might as well swing by and check on Nico and Delta.
I do need to make more trips up here. He's got way more merch in here now.
So. It's worth your while. So if we didn't say it specifically, we are at Dusty Roads again.
Dusty Roads Lounge, bike shop, bar, hangout, club.
Yeah, it's
all the things.
I'm excited to say I got to play with one of his demo bikes over the weekend.
Which was that?
It was the Salsa Spearfish.
Oh, are they still calling that a downcountry bike?
They're calling that a Marathon XC bike.
Because they tried to label it as a downcountry there for a couple of years. That was a hot name.
Well, downcountry was the catch-all that they tried to lump everything that wasn't enduro or downhill into. They tried to call because they tried to get away from trail bike and
they went all mountain,
and wasn't there like free range bike or something? I don't know.
There's been so many names. So now it's a what? Marathon cross country?
Yeah, Marathon XC.
So it just means you're going long.
It's XC oriented supposedly. It was interesting.
Is it still 120, 120?
It's 120, 120.
Yeah.
I was really caught off guard by this thing. I did not expect to like it as much as I did. Unfortunately, I just bought a motorcycle, so it's not within my budget to buy a full suspension bike, but I am here to admit, Bradford, and that's the one I was riding right there.
Dior Di2?
The Di2 with the Fox suspension on both ends.
Yeah.
I've been wrong about full suspension bikes. This thing is pretty bitchin'.
They have their place. They definitely make things more comfortable, especially when they're set up proper. That's key.
Yeah. Then it's a demo bike, but I think it's kind of Nico's main sled at the moment. So I didn't mess with anything. I left everything. Obviously Nico and I are not proportionally identical.
But I thought you were twins.
We get that a lot.
Yeah.
It's really close. But that was actually the amazing part because I figured Nico knows enough to dial a bike in for himself, would be my guess.
I would hope so. All hope is lost if that's not true.
If it's truly dialed for him and it rode so well for me, I can only imagine how it would ride if it were actually dialed for me.
Yeah.
So it was it was one of those things. It was like, I'm just going to check it out, see what it's like, do a video on it, and just for some content. And I rode it one day. I couldn't get it out of my head. It's like,
where'd you ride it first?
I did Denton Mountain Bike Trail first. I wanted to check on it because I'd heard some things about it that I wanted to check on. And then I took it to Horseshoe the second time.
Okay.
With every intention to take it to North Shore the third. But my big learning from this thing is, and probably it's not time for me to invest in a full suspension mountain bike anyway. My knees have been trashed ever since those 2 days of riding. But it's motivation to do the right pieces to get everything in order. So today I was back on the tributary. It's like, all right, we got to get back in basic shape with the tributary first and ease in like we did a couple years ago. Because, when I was riding, felt great. It was the next day. But for me to do 2 mountain bike rides and not eat dirt, that's a heck of an accomplishment.
Not bang a helmet?
Didn't bang a helmet. No trips to the ER. It's either or. It was Justin Carey's fast and flat pedals.
Oh, did you have the flat pedals on?
I did.
What'd you think about the pedals? They're flat.
I didn't eat shit. Really? So there's something to be said there. I didn't. It was kind of like the rear suspension on the bike. And I made the comment in the video. It's like, the best thing I can say, I didn't notice it, except for Rudy climbs. And then I really noticed this is amazing.
Yeah. Because it just keeps that wheel planted.
Yeah. Yeah, that split pivot rear suspension is, I don't think I've ever, actually, I do know I have ridden one before, but I'm not sure. Maybe it's the Fox shock. I had actually committed to buying
Fox is so butter.
Gen 3 Spearfish.
Yeah.
And I took it on its first ride, and I hated it. I absolutely hated it. And that turned into my El Jefe.
See, I thought I wanted a Spearfish about 4 or 5 years ago, and I took one out on a demo. That's when they were calling it down country, and it just did not feel good to me. Out of the saddle, the whole thing was just a big squish, and I had the suspension set up pretty stiff.
Well, see, that's the thing with my knees. I can't speak to out of the saddle.
Yeah.
I have to ride in the saddle the whole time, so I can't speak to what the out of the saddle performance was.
Yeah.
But that was my biggest takeaway after riding it for the weekend. It was like, oh, that's what's been going on. My knees are so shit that when I'm on a hardtail, I'm not able to stand and jockey.
Finesse the bike a little bit.
Yeah. The way I
Put a
used
little
to.
English on it.
Yeah. Not that I ever had skills, but it wasn't completely lack of skills. It was just, I wasn't capable of what I was innately doing before that I didn't really realize I was doing.
Sometimes it's the arrow, but more times than not, it's the archer.
Hey, I made it through a weekend
Yeah.
on a new bike and new pedals and had a wonderful time. And so now I got to figure out how to make that a long-term thing, because that's the most fun I've had on mountain bike trails in a really long time.
And it was hot AF.
It was hot. I mean, I kept myself under 90 minutes a ride.
Yeah.
But yeah, by the end of that 90 minutes, like, that's enough of that.
Yeah, it's miserable outside today. And when we leave here, I've got to go deal with my stupid pool. I've got to change out the filter membrane on my filter assembly, which is going to be so much fun.
That sounds like loads of fun.
Don't ever buy a pool. So you said you watched the first two stages of the tour.
I did.
First stage wasn't very, there were no surprises, no.
I mean, the format for the team time trial was interesting, the new format.
And I caught the very end of it. I'm a little unclear on. So historically, it was the 5th fastest timer from the team is what their time was for the whole team, right?
I think they've tried it like a gazillion different ways over the years. So every time, because they don't do team time trial every year.
No.
So it's like every 3 or 4 years or whatever the spacing is, they always change it up a little bit. They're trying to find evidently the formula. Man, I thought that one year, I think it was Postal Service. It may have been Discovery Channel, but one of the Lance years when everybody was just that well-oiled
Peloton.
paceline machine for all of the teams.
Yeah.
That was the most spectacular time trial I remember seeing. And that might have been the one where the 4th or 5th place guy is who gets the time. Because everybody had to stay together all the way to the end.
And I think this year it was everybody got their own time.
For the GC, but for the time trial, it's, I didn't dig into the scoring, but so the time trial scoring was just based on the first finisher for the team. So I guess that was the stage win. But each individual participant, their time that they crossed the line was what their GC time was.
Okay.
So I think that's the way it worked. I didn't watch it from the beginning or the pre-race and get all dialed in to what all of the rules were. I admit I started watching it about halfway through out of somewhat curiosity, because I knew they were changing it up with the team time trial. But I'll be honest with you, I have so little interest in the Tour de France this year. I tried to force myself and watch a good bit of stage 2 as well. And I mean, it was pretty going along the Mediterranean, on the cliffs and all that. I like that part. But
how about the helmet show for the team time trial?
The time trial helmets, that might be half of why I hate the Tour. The time trial helmets drive me nuts. It's
It looks like dark helmet.
yeah,
from
Spaceballs. Yeah, it's absolutely
I'm
ridiculous.
sure somebody in a wind tunnel said that is the most aerodynamic
Oh,
helmet.
I'm
And
sure I'm sure there's receipts for it.
my biggest thing was they were all hanging out at the finish line cheering and stuff. I was like, I would get that stupid helmet off of me before anybody can take any more pictures, because they were just hanging out with their helmets on.
Sponsor obligations, man.
Oh,
Sponsor
man.
obligations.
I was like, get this thing off of me.
I mean,
you look ridiculous.
Speaking of sponsor obligations, this episode brought to you by FAM, Food Adventure Memories.
Man,
Dinner this weekend?
have a dinner this weekend. It's this weekend.
Openings?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think
And this is a whiskey dinner, right?
this is Sagamore Spirits. I wish I could say we're sold out.
Or counter seats available? Maybe.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
All right, so I'll put this out Wednesday morning. If you're hearing this, if you want to try FAM, this is definitely the weekend to do it.
So back to the tour real quick. Just because we're so short in the tour, I just want to break it up a little bit. So I think Pagacha was 12 seconds down after the first stage to Vendigo.
Yep.
And then on the second day, stage 2, Pagacha and one of his teammates, and I can't say his name, but right here, and he let his teammate take the win, which was so cool. And it was his second stage in the Tour de France. And he got the win at the stage, which is tremendous. Young kid, too. I think he's 24.
That's the kid, right?
Yeah. I think he's 24. And then today, I want to say it was the same young man that was essentially the last lead out for Pagacha before Pagacha peeled and had a very impressive sprint to put a little gap between him and Vendigo. Vendigo finished second, I believe, but with the stage win bonus points and the slight time gap, he ended up essentially tying Vendigo, but he's now in the yellow jersey.
Okay.
So, good stuff. It's going to be a great tour, and it's about to get super spicy really early in the tour. This, everything I've seen and heard and read about the stages this year, it's going to be an exciting tour with all the climbing, and the way they've structured some of the stages it's going to be a shakedown. It's going to be hard if you don't have climbing legs, you're going to be chewed up and spit out.
Oh yeah, this year's a climbers tour. There's no doubt about it, where pretty much everything for the last decade's been the sprinters tour, or at least sprinter stages were the highlights.
Yeah. Now that Cancellara and Cavendish and all our big time sprinters are gone, it's like, let's make it climbing. I don't think that's how it works, but I think they lay out the stages. They're probably working on 2035 right now.
Maybe. I'm waiting for them to do a real deal 3 days of gravel in a row stages somewhere in the mix. That would be cool.
That would be, if they did like a Paris-Roubaix Grand Fondo, it'd be kind of cool.
But that's just me.
Yeah. Well, gravel hasn't officially jumped the shark yet.
Getting close.
Yeah.
It's getting close.
I've been going nonstop today. I told my wife, I said, I can't wait to get to the shop and hang out and talk to Kevin so I can.
Need a bear.
Yeah.
Need a bear.
Diffuse a little bit.
So how about you? Have you been riding?
I have not. I am planning to make attendance tomorrow at Tuesday night single speed.
Okay.
Despite how hot it's going to be, but I do fully intend to ride. Yesterday, we had an environmental managers get together, and we went to see Jackass, which was hysterical, out of control. I laughed until I cried and peed, and it was awesome. The new one.
Oh, it's a new one?
Yeah, best and last, I think is what they call it.
I guess I've just always been an old Jackass. Has never done a single thing for me ever.
Dude, if you can't laugh at some of those skits, there's something wrong with your soul. It is hysterical. I wouldn't want to be in any of those scenarios.
I think it's just stupid shit.
It is stupid. But that's the point. I still have more of an 8-year-old boy in me than you do.
I guess. Well, even when I was 8, I was just like dumbasses.
Oh, yeah. That's just difference in people, you know.
Yeah,
I'm still a childish little man.
I'm pretty childish myself, but yeah, Jackass has just never had any sort of appeal to me
Well, that's fair.
whatsoever. But
That's fair.
it's okay. It's okay. It does make sense as an environmental managers meeting. Well, I'll tell you what's going on in my world.
Talk to me.
I did finally pull the trigger and get my Coros Dura.
I saw that. A sneak peek of that.
And this thing's pretty cool. Yeah. There's no way to bury the lead on. It's not perfect. Nothing is, sort of thing. But what you get for $250,
Can I touch it?
You can touch it. I don't know what you can figure out with it. But so far, I'm pretty damned impressed.
Yeah.
No, I'm exceptionally impressed with it. It's not perfect. People that are wanting 100% customizable and get everything exactly the way that they want it, it's not for them. You know, it's kind of like the old Saturday Night Live skit, cheeseburger, no Coke, Pepsi.
I have no clue.
You don't know that one? Oh, my God.
So you've used it for 5 days and you were at 100% and you still have 90.9%.
Is that what it says?
4.5 hours of riding. Oh, this has solar?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
No, that's not the whole point. The whole point is that it's super simplistic.
No, the whole point is it lasts forever. You never have to charge it.
Yeah, but I didn't know it had solar.
Well, how else would it accomplish that? Nuclear power, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Fusion in there?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
We don't need roads. I've only done one navigation-based route with it so far, but it worked amazingly flawless.
I see you do have two routes on here.
Yeah, I can put routes
Yeah.
on
No,
there,
I didn't know
but
if it
actually
loaded.
writing it for it to navigate for me,
What is B and C loop north?
that is a motorcycle route,
Oh, okay.
Bonnie and Clyde loop.
Oh, okay. Like here local? Okay. That makes sense.
So yeah, I tried the navigation. I think it's not going to get crossed up with double backs and crossovers, but
Oh, really?
I need to try that out specifically to make sure.
It feels light. It's super intuitive. It has all the things. And the price point's right.
The price point's amazing for it. The battery life is amazing for it. It has everything you need and more, but I realize there are going to be people that have very specific
Oh, yeah.
wants that it may not be a good fit for.
But it works with power.
Yeah.
You can run watts and you can run heart rate. I mean, it doesn't have any limitations.
You can tie all the accessories to it, but like where it may come up short is how it displays that information.
Oh, that's not me.
So if you want to see your power, you have to go with the way it presents it on.
Oh, you can't.
Customize
change
the
it.
screen.
Oh, okay.
And that's what I'm saying. You have
Take
to
it like you get it.
pretty much.
Yeah. Okay.
You can throw lots of stuff into the mix, and that's so.
That's what I was looking for is one of your data display screens.
So if we start it, please wait in place. We're in a Faraday cage, so
Yeah, we are in a Faraday cage.
so it may not do it. So anyway, so what will happen
Yeah.
is that would be just the maps screen right there, and it'll just show the local map. If there was a route loaded, it would show the route, and it stands out really well with arrows, so you can look at, oh, that's where I'm supposed to go on it. That part worked really well.
So where do you have this mounted on your bike?
Depends
Obviously
on
on
the
the
bike.
handlebars, but did you have it out front or do you have it on top on
Well,
your stem?
on my tributary, I've got the kitchen sink bar with the kitchen sink bag up in the little U channel. So it's got the mount on top of the bag.
Oh, okay. So is this easy to interface on the
Yeah.
bag
Yep.
too?
Yeah, it's just a little scroll wheel, but it's also a touch screen.
Oh, it is a
You
touchscreen.
can do it either way.
I didn't know it was a touchscreen.
And well, that's why we're talking
Yeah.
about it.
But I was thinking initially that this knob was too big, but then I started thinking with gloves on, with sweaty hands, with cold hands, like it makes sense. If it was smaller, it would be too small.
Gotcha. And like you can just scroll it like that too.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
Right.
you don't have to up and down it.
Yeah.
You can just roll
Yeah.
with it like you're rolling dough.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that.
Okay.
I like it.
But so, and that's what the default will go to the map screen, and then you just scroll through or swipe, and it goes to the different data displays. But if it's customizable, I haven't seen how it's customizable.
So can you not hook this up to your computer and configure it?
Well, it's all app driven, and I haven't found anything like that in the app.
Okay.
And that's probably the biggest shortcoming.
I know Josh Dean's been running one for a while. I'm sure he'll reach out.
Shortcoming, I don't know if it's the right way to describe it, but a caveat or a limitation is it is all pretty much app based. You know, if you want to load your routes in, you have to do it through the app. It doesn't, my Wahoo, I can just fire up the Wahoo at home and it automatically syncs with Ride with GPS and pulls in the routes that I have on my Ride with GPS account. This one you have to.
But it's literally a third of the price of the Garmin 1040
Oh,
Solar.
yeah.
So
that's what I'm saying.
You can't expect every bell and whistle you get out of Garmin.
Not at all.
You know?
And I'm not complaining. I'm explaining where some fundamental differences are. And that's probably the biggest difference. You are tied to the app more than you are with some of the other devices.
Sure.
But all those other devices do work better when you use it, I think. Well, here's the thing. So I also acquired a Garmin 830 and a new Wahoo Bolt. Those were lent to me because I had put out a request to borrow the different navigation devices so we can we're wanting to do more of those looped routes, and I want to figure out how to lay out the route so the crossovers and the double backs aren't an issue. But I need to see how they work with all the different devices.
Yeah.
This, easy enough to figure out, and what I couldn't figure out, it was just one quick question on the Googleizer, and it just goes right to it. Start? Yeah, sure, why not? Let's start. So there's a display page there.
Oh, so that's what you're seeing while you're riding? That's what you're getting?
And then you scroll.
Oh, you can scroll up. Oh, okay.
And you get the different displays. So like there's the map page there.
Okay. I just wanted to see how.
Average power and that's the climbing page, which I use the map and I use the overall with my heart rate and
is this your heart rate would display there. What is this right here? Just showing your speed?
I can't remember what that is, to be honest with you.
That's fair. Pretty cool.
I'm not one of those that digs into all the minutia. I want to keep track of my heart rate, how long I've been riding, kind of what speed I'm at, maybe, or I want to look at the map and see where I'm going.
Makes sense.
Sort of thing. So for me, it works pretty well along those lines. I was able to connect it to the DI2 on the Spearfish.
Oh, really?
And also the shifting on my tributary as well, which is now electronic. I can see it when I go into accessories on this, it shows me the battery level. If it does other stuff, I don't know what it supposedly does, because it did ask for cog sizes and sprocket, number of gears and front chain ring. It asked for all the sizes on everything, which I'm not sure why it did that if it's not displaying it somehow. I don't know. I don't know all those details yet. So I tried to hook it up to the e-bike as an e-bike controller. That, at least on the Bosch, I couldn't figure out how to do that.
Yeah.
But it supposedly can with some e-bikes. But
yeah, I had a lot of problems hooking up to that Bosch powered Cannondale, but I attributed most of that to user error.
It's possible. It could just be Bosch's trying to be proprietary as well.
Well, their user interfaces leaves a lot to be desired, but I think part of it was, if I recall correctly, because it's been a year or two, it was apparently they don't have it set up to be a demo bike. So when someone rode it,
they claimed ownership, basically.
And so I was locked out because this other person that had rented it was basically registered as the owner. And so I'm sure there's a way to set it up as a demo, which would still allow everybody to kind of interface it,
Right.
And I didn't have the time, nor did I realize that before I took it to go ride. So I didn't spend a lot of time dicking with it because it just didn't make sense at the time, and I was just like, whatever.
But yeah, I'm gonna, less than first week impressions on the Coros Dura.
Does it have any kind of case, like a silicone wrapper or anything? I wonder what the durability is.
Well, if anybody can find out, it's me.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't say that for that reason. I was just curious. Because it feels, it's light for what it is, for the battery life and everything and the functions and features.
I know screen protectors are sold for them. I don't even know that they're sold by Coros, but
yeah, I
know people do buy screen protectors. I've had the Coros heart rate monitor. It's the arm heart rate. I've had that for almost 2 years now.
Okay.
Huge fan of that.
Yeah.
It's my favorite heart rate monitor I've ever had. I've been through them all.
And why do you like it on the forearm versus the chest?
The chest straps have always just annoyed me. Yeah, irritated is not the right. They've always been annoying to me.
That's one of those pieces of kit. Like if I have it on right, I never even remember it. But as soon as it's too tight or too loose, it's a complete annoyance the whole ride unless you stop and jack with it. And sometimes you don't realize it till you're 10 miles into the ride, and then all of a sudden you're like, what?
And the chest straps have been the ones that, for whatever reason, halfway through a ride, they start going wonky.
It's a rain gutter for sweat.
Yeah.
It all just runs right here, channels right down in between my boobies, and then it just sits there with the monitor.
I've had 3 different arm monitors. Actually, I tried the Whoop for a while. So I had the trial period on the Whoop and tried that out and was impressed with how good it was. Because I'd always heard that you can't get accurate heart rate on the wrist and the arm and everything. Like, you got to use the chest strap.
It depends on a lot of variables.
The technology is advanced is basically what's happened. And
tattoo, skin color, all those things can make a difference,
Okay.
So.
Well, I have no tattoos or skin color.
The freaking helmets.
I was impressed with the Whoop as far as an arm-mounted heart rate monitor, and then I got an Amazon one, something that actually did really well until it just did the Chinese thing and just died.
Yeah.
And then after that one died, I was like, well, I'll try this Coros one because I'd heard good things about it. I'm thinking about getting their computer. Let me get familiar with the company and how their stuff works. And I've been amazingly happy with that heart rate monitor.
Yeah.
And
that's literally all they make is that and a heart rate monitor.
No, they got a bunch of watches.
Oh, they have watches.
They're on the watch side of things. They are the wearable side of things. Oh, speaking of e-bikes, there was some e-bike news this past week. Did you see that one?
No.
There's a new adventure bike.
Well, you saw the gearbox thing.
But that's Avinox.
It was Barbo that dropped the first one, and then Avinox released it very quickly after.
Gearbox,
the gearbox one.
But it's a
12-speed gearbox.
But it's an e-bike gearbox, belt driven, right?
1,500 watts.
Yeah. Wow.
So
with 110 miles of range.
Yeah. I think it was
on paper.
The Bike Expo maybe of China a couple weeks ago. All those brands are popping out and stuff, and so Avinox has over 20 brands running their motor now.
Yeah.
You'll probably see Airflow disappear, which was their frame brand. Right?
But clear this up for me real quick, because Avinox was DJI.
It is DJI.
It is DJI.
Yeah. That's just their bicycle-facing brand.
Amflow was. So
Amflow was created just to showcase the DJI motor.
The Red Bull strategy.
Yeah.
Create a product with your product going underneath it to get people start riding it.
Yeah.
Testing it. Why do you think Amflow came out with one bike and 2 different models?
If
you're a brand that could do it, it was one bike, 2 different models.
Yeah.
They got the Avinox motor out. Everyone was so stoked on it. They now convinced it. I was told by Orbea, over 28 brands have it now.
Yeah, I know Pivot's running the Avinox.
The MS2 motor.
Yeah.
So then that got big. That was huge. But then a week ago or 2 weeks ago, when that brand released their 1,500 watt motor, gearbox driven, they all of a sudden a day later, Avinox was like, "Oh, we have that too. We have that too." But it's only on prototypes. Canyon, Mondraker, and a few other ones.
Yeah.
What I heard in this next year, I was thinking it's going to be Avinox and Bosch only. Maybe I get in trouble for saying this, but you may see some Shimano stuff. I don't know. It's going to even
But Shimano's already been in that game, right?
Well, they have.
Yeah.
They had
Had a lot of.
Yeah.
they
They were behind the curve.
they're
I
not.
love Shimano. I work for him, but how many warranty motors have we gone through here with the
Yeah.
Shimano? Like 10, 12,
I've had 3 on this bike.
3 on that bike alone.
Going for my 4th battery.
I think it's Fazua, who's owned by Porsche. They pulled out completely. All these brands are real. It's the e-bike arms race. It got to a point where everyone is being kind of cool with each other. You started dropping bombs, and people are like, "Hey, we don't even want to compete with that anymore." So, Avinox by DJI is the most used motor and the most demanded motor on any e-bike.
Oh, they did a hell of a job of
But
creating
again,
the demand.
you call it Red Bull marketing, you call
Right.
it-
Yeah.
where you created this thing what SRAM did with the UVH. Nobody realized what they were doing with the airflow.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I'm not saying that it was a very bad frame design.
Oh,
very low quality.
No, it was on.
But to the people that just were riding it, were like, "Oh, this is amazing because the motor's so crazy good." And then they're like, "Okay, we don't care about our frame anymore. Here's motor." So rather than them making a frame and paying bills, they now send a product out where people pay their bills.
Right.
Yeah.
You're right. The inflow mountain bike frames are going to go away, but you see where they're putting their motors now? The first gen motors? They're making hybrids to compete with like the collector.
Because
what they're
once you have the
Yeah, 'cause those are
technology to
antiquated
do it,
motors, yeah.
if you're doing something that's massive quality of this motor thing, you could do anything below it. You know, you spent the research to get a big, but they have 28 manufacturers in the world running that, and not just saying running it, but people would only buy their bikes because if it has the Avinox pivot, Mondraker, all these brands.
So here's my big dumb e-bike question here. So how many different mounting options? I don't know how to ask this the right way, but you could not take an Avinox motor and drop it into that bike.
You can't interchange motors.
Because
The frame is
standard,
frame is specific to a motor. Right?
and firmware and the battery.
But the mounting options too, right?
So that's the mounting options. There was 2 to 3, maybe 4, 5. If you got wild with them, there's a 2 mount, there's a 3 mount, there's a vertical and a horizontal.
Yeah.
So they created a couple different ones, which allowed companies to adapt their motor around it. Like, it's funny that questions popped up a lot. Is that people were like, "I'm going to take my old Shimano motor and put an Avinox in it." It would never ever work.
Yeah.
It's because
the bolt patterns.
Yeah.
well, even if they have the same bolt pattern, you can't just take an Avinox motor and plug it into the firmware of a battery. There is a couple standards, and people do make that. So it's called a CAN unit. You have a controller, you have a battery, and you have a motor. Then when it comes to controller, you could have a bunch of accessories. But when it comes to the battery and the motor, those 3 things have to literally be programmed to work with each other.
Sure.
And you can put other stuff on, like these aftermarket or people jailbreak their bikes.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like when you replace the motor in a car. Like you have to make sure the motor mounts line up. You're going to have to replace the ECM and the wiring
You can
harness.
plug in so many things, but then if you have things firing in the wrong way, it will last as long as
Yeah, but in the car you can swap pretty much anything one way or another.
Yeah, but you have to replace the wiring harness.
You're
And,
taking like so. That's great. That's like taking a whole Shimano motor, battery, and controller and pulling out, and putting all that in, and maybe that's where the standards come into place. If you could do that, but it's not one piece; it's all the pieces.
Yeah.
Right. So batteries are the biggest thing. Your battery firmwares run off the power that the motor drives through the wiring harness. If you put a 1,500 watt battery on something that's not designed for it, it'll run for a month or 2. It's just going to clean shut off after that, right?
Yeah.
Because it can't handle it. And that's why I'm very interested to see everything I love and hate at the same time, seeing all this crazy stuff coming out. Gearboxes were a thing before, and now they're putting them on e-bikes, and everybody's all excited about them because no degregulars, no maintenance. 1,500 watt motors and batteries.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wild.
And I guess since it's battery powered, I guess they're not worried about the drag. I mean, it's a transmission, internal transmission. It's got to be. So, and it's in an oil bath.
So you've seen people do this for years. It's going to take a year or 2 to start to see the flaws.
Sure.
For like what works and what doesn't work. But it's the innovation of what even goes into lithium batteries across the board of bikes like this versus kids' bikes.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of people talk about single cell batteries coming out and all these things that are changing this whole lithium battery. We have more power, more range.
We were supposed to have graphite batteries by now. Graphene.
Now, I think everybody has the technology. It's all the same. Go back to the e-bikes arms race.
Yeah.
People trying to stay quiet about what they could do to keep the industry like on level.
Yeah.
And then you start pushing buttons at each other.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, okay. Like, you
Yeah.
want to see what we have?
Oh, you want to play?
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
Like, now, I'm sure Bosch is probably the biggest electronics company in the world with the best things. If DJI could do it, who was a camera brand,
Yeah.
it's not stopping anybody.
I think
It's just
DJI is more of a drone.
the drone camera.
Hey, that's where they started.
Yeah. They're the best out there for sure.
Yeah.
Well, when the bikes came out, I knew that there was something going on because
Sure.
nobody gets push a bike to market that quick without having any build up or like why this bike is cool or whatnot. They're
But
just
they definitely put them in everybody's hands so they could get spread very
Everybody.
quickly.
now if you see on the internet, people their shops literally going and saying that when they call Amflow customer service, there's not even people answering. It's
Oh, really?
Oh,
So they've just shifted everything out of that and just, like you said, just putting it in
they
everybody's
were paying
bike.
some bills to get people happy, and now they have a product with the biggest bike brands in the world.
Yeah.
Their bills.
Yeah.
And that's all you have to do is like the whole UDH they can strand.
Yeah.
They create something that people just thought it's like, oh, that's casual. Yeah, we're in the same hanger. And they're like,
Suckers.
Works on this. And
Yeah.
like now every brand in the world switches to it, right?
Yeah.
It's convenient.
They Trojan horse the entire industry.
It's a,
But we said
I
that
love
from
to
the
see,
get-go.
like,
We did.
strategy behind that marketing. That is quite intelligent and almost like a risk.
But what they
But-
did, though, they patented it just so they could develop the derailleur. And then after a year,
Yeah.
they let the patent go to, what do they call it? Open source.
Anyone, yeah.
Yeah.
But they patented trailer that works on now. You took. 90%
But basically, they got every
manufacturers-
frame that will
you-
direct bolt
people have
their
a
their
Shimano
derailleur.
derailleur
Yeah.
mounted on a UDH. Her first question is like, "Can I put transmission on this?" I'm like, "Yes, you can," because they've now opened the mounting system.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Hey, the e-bike thing is.
I
I hate to see like Fazua and those brands kind of back out. I mean, they're owned by Ford. There has to be something going on to the point where it's like pushing such a high progressive demand of something, right? I mean, Fazua was the best lightweight motor in my opinion, but they made a lightweight motor, not a big one, right? And
Yeah.
everyone wants when this little like articles come out of basic brands going, we're not going to make lightweight e-bikes anymore because why would you want a lightweight e-bike if you go ride with your friend who has a full powered e-bike?
Yeah.
You just have the buyer's remorse of like,
Yeah.
spend something that's
Well, and a lot of the people that bought those lighter cross country, lower power e-bikes, they got on the e-bike and they loved it, but then they wanted to go further and they wanted more power.
35.
They realized real quick that if you're underpowered,
It's all about the experience. If you're riding two
Yeah.
oval bikes together, you guys be like, oh, it's you, I'm faster, I'm faster.
Yeah.
But when you're literally on a bike where you're hitting full gas the same as your buddy, and they're
But-
taking off, you get this like,
but that's where I've always been confused, and maybe I'm just my head's not correct on it. But you can't line up any two different e-bikes side by side; they're not comparable.
they're not. And I think we're trying to get to the point where now it's all about the motor power because in the
So-
e-bike world, it's a different.
I mean, that's what I've always run into when people say, "Hey, you need to do e-bike racing." It's like, how do you?
You would have to now.
You really can't because there's no way to.
And that's a consumer choice. You could let someone join the same race with a half
No.
power versus full power.
But
You know, but-
even full power to full power is.
The full, yeah. If someone has a jailbreak,
Yeah.
they're doing 28 miles an hour with other bikes.
well,
Or hell, just 1,500 watts to a 900 watts. I
I'll
mean,
tell you
What,
this. So,
350 watt. These half power
No.
were 350.
and I'll explain it this way too. So you know at North Shore, all the fast cross country guys, a big thing is to do loops 1 through 4.
under 60 minutes.
Yeah.
So last summer I started an e-bike thing 1 through 5 in under an hour, and you get people that have chipped their motor so they can go 28. You know what I mean? And you don't know when you see this guy did it in
42
whatever it
minutes.
was, 51 minutes, you
Yeah.
know, if it's chipped or not.
Yeah.
No, that
You know what I mean? There's no way I know.
And therein lies the problem because
Right.
you know, it's like the classic street racing scene.
Well,
You know, you're like, what are you running under the hood? Well, you
Right.
got to race me to find out.
Right.
You know,
I mean, I have a stock e-bike. You know, it's just at 20 miles an hour.
yeah, but you
I
can
can do
still.
But even if everybody's maxed out at 20 miles an hour, somebody's going to have 800 Newton meters of torque, and another person's going to have 200. And it's,
You don't know.
there's
But you can also go in and set your parameters and change where your ramp up is and change where your
On
pedal
a
let
lot of
off.
them,
And
you can. They do give you that
yeah.
ability to do that for sure. But again,
So the way one of my buddies, Shannon, was explaining it to me is, and maybe I misunderstood it, but you could go in on the bike he had and you could change the profiles for each setting. So like say you were running eco mode, you could basically tweak it and make it perform like turbo.
you can.
So like if somebody's riding next to you, they look over and they're like, oh, he's just in eco mode,
Right.
but you're tooling it turbo mode, you know?
I'll give you an example.
yeah,
like
I can do that on mine.
Yeah.
Like what my bike has, right?
Uh-huh.
I can go in and tune all of that stuff and
Yeah.
my eco mode, my trail mode, and my boost mode.
Yeah.
And there's a setting there where I can have like 7 different modes.
Yeah.
And I can adjust all that.
Yeah.
And I've done that. Here
Mhm.
lies the problem. If you're going to be doing a ride or you want to go out to the North Shore and do loops 1 through 7,
Mm-hmm.
it eats those customizable, eats your battery.
Even if you mirror what's already there.
If you use the stock ones, like on this bike, I can do 1 through 7 and have about 8 to 10% battery life left.
That's not bad.
When I start
On what
jacking
mode?
Huh?
On what mode?
turbo,
Turbo.
right?
Oh, okay.
Boost mode, the highest mode.
Okay.
If I go in and use the settings where I've messed with it, I run out of battery before I get back.
Yeah. Even
I
if,
have to back that.
yeah.
I'll have to go to trail or eco.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if he's
Survive
messing
that.
with 20 different settings,
Yeah.
it doesn't line up with the 10,000 settings that they have for the
Yeah.
the internal
Yeah.
ones.
That makes
You gotta
sense.
figure out what you want to do.
That makes sense.
And I ride the e-bike guys I ride with. They're all older, but they're all cross-country motocross guys.
Yeah.
So they're used to going 50 miles an hour.
That's why we're not seeing our
so there
motor.
is no.
So you ride with Woodruff and La Barba and those guys?
No, I ride with just a different group. They all live in Plano and
Yeah.
places like that. I met them through a job of mine that
Yeah.
I had, and I was working on their e-bikes. But
That's fair.
you know, you got to be in boost or turbo mode depending on the bike to
Yeah.
fucking keep up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. And we talked about that a couple of weeks ago. Just the ex motocross guys that are on e-bikes are just whipping impressive, period.
Dude, I'll tell you the difference.
Mhm.
One of the differences is I'm more cycling fit than they are. But when it comes to like, let's just say North Shore, and you're coming back east on like 6, we're just rock garden after rock garden. Bro, those guys did that at full pedal stroke
Yeah.
and just when I first started, I thought their bikes were going to blow up
Yeah.
and if they get thrown off a line, they just stick with it
And gather it back in.
We're a cyclist, and I was doing the same thing. I'm trying to pick my smoothest line and get around and get over stuff, and they're just
Yeah.
hitting it as
Making the
fast
machine work. But the other thing that we were talking about is they just have a faster processing speed too.
Oh, absolutely.
Because they're looking at the trail and they're just processing it way quicker and reacting
What I
way
mean
quicker.
by they're used to going 40, 50 miles
Yeah.
an hour.
Yeah.
Trees.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I watched a thing.
they were doing that at 12 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched a thing. It was like, some kind of clip, YouTube or something. And they were talking about pro downhillers
Yeah.
compared to the weekend warrior that goes to a bike park.
Yeah.
And their processing at speed is way different.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
They're not worrying about a lot of stuff. And they're
Yeah.
saying how much, and they'd show you at their speed and show you like at an amateur speed or how much gnarlier it is going slower.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because those guys are just skimming over the top of
Yeah.
most of the things and they don't care about rocks and roots.
Yeah.
They're just
It's kind of like driving 35 miles over speed bump
Yeah,
versus
walk
driving
towards-
5 miles
right,
an hour.
They're just staying on top of everything, and
Yeah.
the brain's processing everything different.
Yeah.
I never thought about it until I saw that little.
It's just a delicate dance, though, because if you,
One wrong move.
yeah, if you, but they're also padded to the gills too, full face, typically shoulder, chest protector, and stuff like that. And they're also in damn good shape, so they're not extremely fragile, and they're also obviously not scared. It's just a whole nother
Well,
animal.
that's the processing thing too.
Yeah,
They're not processing the danger like.
yeah. I know. I was riding when we were in Park City one year, and we were out riding one day, and I had a full face helmet with me, and we were ripping some stuff, and I wasn't wearing my full face helmet, and I was riding and just grinning ear to ear. We were just screaming down trails and stuff, and then all of a sudden it clicked in my head, you're not wearing your full face, dipshit. And immediately it was like somebody dropped a parachute behind me. My brain locked down, like went into like preservation mode, so I was like probably 20% slower just because of the mental aspect, because I got scared,
Yeah.
So it was kind of like when I was riding Knob Hills that day and just put my cycling cap on, completely forgot my helmet, rolled the whole trail and got back to what's the point, where the bench is at the top of the hill.
Oh, yeah.
I got there and I saw
Lookout
Shane and
point or wherever
I
it is.
saw Shane and Emily Woodall, and Shane just gives me this big goofy look, like, and I go, "Hey, what's going on?" And he goes, "Not much. How's it going?" I go, "Man, I'm having a great ride, just ripping." I go, "Everything feels great, And he's like, "Where's your helmet, buddy?" And I had been just screaming through the trail, and for that little 3 miles back to the trailhead, I was like, "Oh shit, I don't have a helmet on," and I was just so much more.
Right.
It was goofy, but nothing changed other than my awareness.
Well.
So I don't know why I went to that.
It's 90% mental, man.
It's a lot mental.
It's a lot of mental.
So how many different motors does Avanox have? It looks like they just have the Avanox.
They had the one. Now they put out one with more wattage, and now
Oh, here we go.
just released. Obeya's got it on their bike that they're bringing out, and a couple other ones. But it's one with the higher wattage and power, with an internal gearbox.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm looking
And
at.
I haven't seen enough of it, but there's something that mounts on the frame too, back by the derailleur, that sticks up like a.
I saw that.
Remember the old Specialized piggyback shop
Yep.
that was bolted?
The brain.
Something like that, and I think that has something to do with it, also.
So they have the M2S, the M2, and the M1. They all look very similar. They obviously all use the same mounting points. It's just,
Oh, I forgot to take those
This.
pedals off, Nico. They're very nice.
Did Justin Carey put his name on there?
yep,
Yeah, he's selling them.
What pedal was it?
they're
some-
his pedals.
Some
You know what? I hope he's getting some sales. Maybe from his fishers. I
Yeah.
go through every sample. I had people coming back in trying to get free samples. I said, buy some from him, man.
Yeah.
Stop it. They're coming and grab like
Yeah,
two bags.
yeah.
I'm
Just,
like,
just go ahead and
oh,
buy it.
it's,
It's cheap enough. Go ahead and buy it.
Yeah.
like I gotta say, every one of our long day riders has come in and almost looked at it as like free produce, and so I could hopefully just. I've told them all, like, go online, buy it from him. We'll have more samples, but if you got, people
All right.
enjoy it.
So help me out, Nico. After riding that Spearfish, my big takeaway was that's a really cool bike. And it's the best experience I've had on a full suspension. But
Here we go.
to be fair, I've had very limited experience on full suspension in the past 10 years. What else do you have that's a demo full suspension that I could compare it against in the coming weeks and evaluate, is the Spearfish really that good, or am I just out of touch with what current technology
Yeah,
is?
so that's a 1/2020 bike. So in that realm, you're really only getting these racy cross country bikes like the Epic, Orbea toys and things like that.
Right. So there's the Epic, the Scalpel, and then the Mach 4, right?
Like a down country, you're going to get into Rebel Ranger, get these other ones. where you have a 130 fork, 25 you're going to start to slacken.
Well, and I started doing all the online research. It's like I couldn't find anything that was really
I think
in the same realm as
I gotta
that
say, I think they-
between geometry and travel.
taking a huge risk in playing like which because in the marathon world, marathons, these long adventure cross country races, whether it be multiple hundreds of miles or even UCI has a marathon category where if you watch it, they're literally racing from the roads to the mountains to like areas. It's not just full cross country racing. It's somebody that's on their short travel bike all day. There's really only these high end racy brands. And the reason I like that too is because we all want short travel bikes, but that is a bike that you could pedal through Arkansas, Trailwoods, Oklahoma, all these places where you're not just stuck on something that's like a jackhammer.
Well,
type.
I mean, even just riding it on road and gravel, it's like there was almost no bob whatsoever.
They've been in the industry with that bike for a while, and I hope it gets more. It's a very they market that bike as a 130 travel. They'd probably be more like in a similar playground with other brands have the same attitude. But to do a 120 bike, you are literally looking at people that think of race day only and whatnot. So they're playing a game that is totally different than what their style is.
So what do you have here that's also full suspension?
In 120,
Or even 130 or 140, what do you have?
well, that's a whole different style. Like that's a trail bike.
What's a BC40?
That's 120.
So is it
that's close.
What's the
Because you won't see-
DC40?
Allied
Allied.
BC40?
Now you'll see Allied in the World Cup circuit. 'cause they have-
Okay, but we're back to a pure blown racer bike then.
The closest I could say would be a Yeti ASR or an Allied BC40.
Yeah.
What
Yeti
about the Mach 4?
What's that?
What about the Pivot Mach 4?
That's a 130, 140 front.
The Mach 4 SL is a 120.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, but I'm sure it's a great bike.
No, I'm saying
it's similar, but I still think they have the racy look to it or the
Oh,
racy
it's
attitude behind
it's
it.
$2,000 more than that, or $3,000 more than that.
The reason I call it the Spearfish 3 bottle mounts.
Yeah.
A very long, comfortable geometry, not twitchy. Now you're not running integrated cables through the.
That's what was cool about. No, that's
it's a clean through the.
it had the long front end, so it's stable as hell, but it's got those short chain stays, and so it's whipping through our trails like a hardtail,
I
quite
think
frankly.
all these bikes pedal very well. I always try to go back to the culture of what a brand designs himself around. Salsa is all about adventure. That bike is literally a bike you could take to Oregon single track for 8 hours a day. And watch it. You probably will never see World Cup racers on assault. They don't really care, in my opinion. I think about that. No, it may weigh a pound or still more than these other ones, but what that does is translate to a better riding bike. The first time I took this out, I cleaned the rock ledge climb, cleaned it I've ever done. I cleaned the 5 climb. It's one of those bikes that as you pedal, you feel like the bike's actually going forward and you're hanging on, where other bikes are pedaling to keep it going.
to maintain momentum.
Now, I think the Yeti ASR is a very, very close comparison. Tom's had ASRs, and that's why we like that too, especially like if you run it without the remote lockouts, but it still has a much lighter rear end movement to it. So as you're going through these chunky sections of 6, 7, unless you're working with it, it's moving as can be. The Spearfish is a super unique bike, and again, I think it's a hard battle to keep up with, in their opinion, but you just have to find the right crowd, and in our area, that's the right crowd.
3 bottle mounts is where you got me. I'm already locked in at that point.
And it's got the top 2 bosses too.
Yeah.
No, it's a hell of a platform.
Yeah. And a great price tag. Like you said, it's, I was just looking at the price on it.
That build with the Dior Di2 and the Fox is $6,000 MSRP.
No, I thought it was less than that.
That one's $6,000, pretty sure.
$59.99. You're right. I'm wrong. You're smart. I'm done.
But there was
Chi-Chi one's $9, and then they have another one that's right below it at $5.
they've got a Chi-Chi one that's like $11.
Oh, this one's $11. Yeah, and then they have one at $7. So
They've got
pretty much hit
they've
all
got
the
a
price
they've got a
points.
$5,400
Yeah, right
one,
here.
a SRAM build that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, Eagle 90, which I like that.
I was really impressed with that. I got to admit, Nick. Now I'm not bitching about my SRAM stuff on the tributary. I don't want you to take it that way. But that Di2 on that Spearfish, that shifted like you're supposed to shift.
Yeah.
there was no drag or clunk. He just doop, doop, doop.
I feel that it's funny that SRAM took the name transmission, where they still have this feature that makes it feel like a nice roll-on shift. And you go to Shimano, and even during the mechanical days of Shimano, they literally would say your derailleur locks into place, which is like a transmission. So I think they kind of got duped on the whole name, but I have buddies that ride transmission as well. If you straight fast, that Shimano's been doing electronics a little bit longer, and I think they, rather than going for the cool factor, they make sure it works all the way.
Yeah.
I think the shifter button and paddle could be worked on a little bit. You know, a lot of us, like the ergonomics, we get so used to things that are closer now, but they wanted this tactile feel of like a shifter. But every ride I've had, I've not had one misshift. Not one, you know, it is so
and you can just zip through them too.
And it gets underlooked because in the world of marketing, like what's what's spec'd on bikes. You get a lot of other stuff.
Well, I guess that's what I'm getting. That's why it's like
that's the best bang for the buck.
I want to ride others just to make sure that I'm just not thrown off by modern technology in general.
Take the ASR out. Again, the reason I said the ASR from Yeti, enduro-driven race brand. They don't have cross-country World Cup teams. They do care about, but they took a bike that it could handle everything and pedal very well. Like, a little bit more of a simplistic linkage design. So I will say that Yeti has more of a small bump compliance, but sometimes that could be the drag in our areas where you're hitting roots around every millisecond, right? Yeah. You don't want that. You want momentum.
Oh,
the split pivot.
I was pretty impressed with that split pivot setup.
Man, again, it's all about areas. I think our area is very
that's the right bike for here.
And for you guys too, like you could put the cattail bag on it. You could put a handlebar bag. You could do 2 to 3 bottle mounts plus another bag. Like it could be.
Do they have? They've got the frame bags for that one now, or the Gen 3.
I think that you could try to fit some. It just depends how you put it around there. But you have a top tube mount, so you could do a top tube bag.
But I mean, Salsa made a frame bag for the Gen 3.
As long as it fits in there, you just gotta go by size. You know. Again, it just depends if you want to do all bottle mounts, because if you did the third one, it would move it up pretty close. If you do 2 bottle mounts, you have a ton of room. That cattail bag is one of my favorite things now. You can fit everything in that little pouch, and it sits right below you, out of the way. No rattling up front.
So what's the Econo build on it? They have a $4,000.
Yep, and this one's like the 50.
It's the 6 on the 6 grand on the website.
$59.99, yes sir. The one below that has SRAM mechanical, which is really good suspension still. It's just you start to pay that extra for the electronic and
What was the specs on the?
This is confusing to me though. They have a Spearfish C Dior 12.
Yeah.
That's $39.99.
That's the one I'm talking
carbon
about.
Frame, and then this is a Spearfish C Dior. Oh, it's Di2.
That's Di2. So that's Dior mechanical.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's what I was asking about. So that's Dior mechanical, which is not the end of the world.
It's also RockShox.
It's
versus
RockShox.
I'm a Fox guy, but
RockShox is great too. The Fox 34 SL, in my opinion, is the best fork of the year. And I love RockShox. I was them all, but to have the Grip X damper on there and have all that.
Well, what is that? What is that rear shock on that now? Because I remember back in the days,
the Float
SL. So RP23 was the shit back in the day, man.
Dampers, but you were relying on too much for pre-closed dampers.
Yeah.
Where this is going to be more of like you have your open and closed lockout, and it goes back to they took like enduro technically the Grip damper they brought Grip X damper they brought down, and I don't. But
what that rode like, I had a Gen 1 Epic Brain that. When it worked well. It worked fantastic, like 2 bumps out of every ride, and it was awesome. But the other 98% of the bumps, it sucked.
I think it's about the leverage point that bike is that I say the same thing. It's designed for pedaling. So when we're pedaling through our trails, this is awesome. How we get the chunky stuff. To a conditioned rider, it feels real good.
So you've got an ASR here.
Yeah, I got a large ASR over there.
And what else?
The other one would be an Epic, Specialized Epic, and that's going to be full cross country.
That's full cross country race.
Evo, which is a 134, 120 variant, and the lightweight is still about 25 pounds, so it's super light.
And that's a 30-pound bike
That's
there.
around 30 pound gear on there. I think they could. No, my biggest thing is you would just change the wheels off the bat. I love WTV. They're great wheels. You could drop a pound and a half.
How about that?
The tires are great, but then doing carbon cars, cut the stem to where you need it, a lighter weight dropper.
Are those the OEM tires on that?
OEM.
Those were great.
Camrock and drop point.
Those were great.
They redid parallel tires. I think there's a few things I tell people. It's like it is a better price point until the everyday ride. It's totally perfect. But if you start chasing how it can make it wheels and I'll keep the tires, but you change the wheels out. You could do a lighter weight crank. Shimano DI2 is great, but if you take that crank off and maybe do a carbon race face or carbon paxi series crank, carbon handlebars, and a lighter weight dropper. That dropper is great, but if you were to take a one-up dropper versus that, probably almost a pound. So you could cut it down, but it's how they spec it price point.
Sure.
You know, which allows people to be normal with.
What is the weight difference between a dropper and just a regular post these days?
Oh, depends on the dropper. The bad droppers, lower end droppers, heavy compared to a nice carbon rigid post. Like 3/4 of a pound.
Yeah, 350 grams. Give or take.
Just go with the price.
Yeah, I'm just a post guy. Hey, Nico, I did want to ask you too. Have you heard of this company, Grotac? They're out of Japan. They make a bunch of brakes and stuff.
Okay.
But remember, we started this conversation last year. They make a control lever for blips, where you can run.
Yep.
It's got an integrated
I've seen
blip.
that photo. Yep.
And then, so now I can finally run electronic over mechanical
On your other bike.
on my Fargo.
I think a couple people come with that now. They're doing all Series 3D print is coming out.
This is what I want. I need you to help me hook that up
I'll find them
because I already have a UDH hanger for my Fargo,
Okay.
and I just want to keep my Paul mechanicals, and I want to do electronic shifting on there.
I gotta say, in the world of all these new brands, their whole thing is make them themselves. They don't really care about bike shops. So you could reach out, but to them, they probably sell consumer direct, which is totally fine.
I'd rather utilize your brain and your help and
See if we can find it. Yeah.
yeah.
Like all these, again, I could come up with those the PE5 power meters and all these ones that are sold online for a couple $100. If you tried to call and be a dealer, they wouldn't even respond. They're
Yeah.
Like, we make enough money already. You know?
So what's cool that is coming out that is coming your way, Nico? Anything?
Next year is some really cool stuff from brands.
When does the 32-inch Thai Fargo start shipping?
That is towards the end of the year. I
Yeah.
don't think they're hiding that at all. It's just that was, I think, I want to say September, October.
Okay.
We should have our 30 normal Fargo by the end of this month, which is
F yes.
July. So yeah, they're not. That bike's not hidden at all.
Yeah.
But there is like a production run where you ordered what you can. They're gonna see how well it does.
Yeah. Do you think they're already producing Thai Fargo 32s, or do you think they're
I think they're pretty.
kind of gauging the interest based on their steel
I think
sale?
they had to do that on sales. Yeah, which
Yeah.
we were asked about that months ago. So I think it just takes a long time to do those nicer crankings and production range they have.
But it would make sense for them to pre-sell as many steel ones as they can to kind of gauge the interest,
Yes.
you know?
And there's Salsa is going to pressure this next year, if I could say, with the things I've seen.
Yeah.
Salsa and Surly, some really, really cool stuff.
Such as?
Some new hidden bikes.
Don't worry, we can edit all this
Yeah.
out.
They have
Are they coming out with my 1x1 32-inch?
they're doing the Fargo 29 and 32
Yeah.
and a bunch of different frames. The Peck Road is now getting like a racier look with parting forks and on some of their builds.
But that's already out, though.
The Fargo is getting a carbon fork upgrade on one of them. The Krampus is like a full-on adventure bike passing bike now with a 120 fork on it.
So nothing's really changing.
They made it look, everything's looking super better.
Yeah.
The Krampus are trying to design towards all these bike pack things.
Yeah.
Straggler is a single speed and gear.
Yeah.
Their gravel bike. They got a bunch of, and then Midnight Special, their road bike. They're making a full like roadie race bike out of it. It's pretty cool. The Flyway got even better.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they lost they eliminated their suspension package. So they just,
On the Flyway?
so you could buy it on its own. But yeah, they took it out.
Gotcha.
But more just bigger tire players, bigger all stuff. I think they're simplifying it in the best way, but they're working hard on the Fargo. They got like 5 to 7 different price points of Fargos between the 2 different wheels.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. Bea has some cool stuff coming out. Salsa continued the black thorns, just in new colors, but they're trying to make it as light as possible.
But the horse thief is gone, right?
Although they fulfill cuss. Yeah. The Spearfish, they're continuing with it because I think it's a phenomenal bike that keeps working well. So I think they're just streamlining everything, but everything does look cleaner, classier, cool options on a few of the builds and really good price points. And then what else we got? Terravale got rebranded, or in the best way. Carbon wheels, carbon handlebar from mountain to gravel, everything. The tires have gotten a lot lighter. That updraft tire probably our top selling tire.
So what do you mean got rebranded? They're still called Terravale.
They just redid the whole image of the brand.
Well, Terravale and whiskey kind of came together, and so all the whiskey brands are now.
So you won't see any more Salsa stands or bars or anything like that. That's all.
It's all there.
WTB is their biggest partner. You're going to see the 32-inch wheels with them.
Yeah.
They're now offering a 32 complete bike when they first only had frame onlys. But that's the same testing thing, is that they want to see how far the 32 goes. So they didn't eliminate the 29er.
Yeah.
And they have price points to go back and forth.
So when you say they, you mean the Fargo 32 complete?
yeah.
So that's available now?
The complete will be available the following year.
Oh, okay.
Again, the tie frame's probably
It's coming.
until September
Gotcha.
or so.
So it's interesting they have 2 different Fargo tie frame sets, same price point, just 2 different items. And I checked the specs on both of them, and neither one of them say 32-inch.
And yeah, because I don't think it is. It's the 29 with the fork, a different fork. I
noticed the steer tube.
There's something. You won't see the Fargos out there until July or something.
Yeah.
Like that, right?
So
CR, they called it a showing. They didn't call it a release.
Yeah, that's fair.
Show, right? So their
That's
whole
fair.
release thing is coming in, but
Because that was on a regular Firestarter fork.
it was they did a bunch. It's cool what they're streamlining and making everything kind of.
So you're Orbea now too? Okay. Last I heard, you were thinking about it, but
They're a great brand to work with. Everything's handmade in Spain. There's some kids bikes coming out, which is going to compete with Specialized and brands like that. It's kind of funny. You see these worldwide brands.
Yeah.
The only thing they were missing was a kid's bike.
Huh.
And they've got a kid's mountain bike coming out. Orbea is still very racy. You're not going to see any tires and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They have a bunch of new e-bikes. They have the Avanox motor. They have all that stuff.
Yeah. So who's going to be the first big name brand to come out with a 32-inch bike? What's your money on?
Well, I think all those handmade brands are already probably doing it now.
no, we're talking the big.
I mean, is it going to be Specialized? Is it going to be Trek? Is it going to be Cannondale? Giant?
Dead honest, if not
BMC?
anything from Specialized.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Specialized is pretty good about keeping their mouth shut and keeping all their shit hidden.
And I think in this world, they're seeing that 32 is going to be an adventure bike or it's going to be a race bike. I think Scott was testing that at Unbound, right?
Sure.
Guy that won the 350
Yeah.
in about 2 hours. Cam Jones, one of the best riders. Halfway through, I think they're realizing the bigger wheel on and off acceleration is not as good as continuous momentum.
Sure.
Out of the brands we have, the only one that's putting it in the catalog as of this year, and I think is Salsa.
Yeah.
So I think it's still a very, I don't know.
But Salsa's kind of the midway between custom and big box.
Well, they're kind of looking for custom with the whole Fargo thing.
Yeah.
They're doing a Fargo 29 and 32 in frame sets alone, high steel.
Yeah.
Just cool purple color to them.
I think that's the smartest way for any 32-inch model to be released out of the gate is a build your own project, frame and fork. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look for 29er for 2013 or 15 is the mountain bike brands doing it going full gas, and it was still kind of a goofy thing in the Dura world.
29 was well before that.
Diego, we're like, what the hell is a 29er, right? It's a couple years, Yeah, I'm interested to see it, man. I think it's still going to fit in the gravel and adventure world a little better than mountain biking.
Yeah.
a mountain biker that loves a big wheel. It's just you get to the point where now it's almost too much to get around and maneuver and stuff. You see it at World Cups, like no one's hiding it.
Yeah.
Nobody won a World Cup on a 32 mountain bike yet. So I think again the on-off acceleration, the techie riding stuff is you almost past this like too much material type thing versus what's maneuverable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There is a balancing act, and there are going to be applications where it does better, and there's going to be applications where it's not the best tool.
And I think when people start trying to shove them into 29 frames that could already handle it. It's just the fork weight and everything like that. But I think it's gonna survive a little better in the endurance world.
Yeah.
Whether it be mountain bikes or gonna take Doom out in Arkansas. There was a bunch of 32s. They rode this past year handmade frames.
So
Oh, really? I did not know
There's a
that.
couple, yeah. There's a. God, I did the bike checks, and there's a couple of these handmade frame builders that, find a rim company, you build it around.
So I never really got to chat with you about your demo day out at North Shore. I think between both of us, we were pretty busy that day. How did the demo day go for you? What did you find out anything new or unexpected from people dropping in that didn't already know you?
I
Or
think there's a lot of new mountain bikers out in this area. Demo day went extremely well, and that's where you usually get people that are looking for a certain model or looking to just try a mountain bike. And I think we had 90% of people just looking to try a mountain bike. No, they probably have one already, whether it be like a hardtail Trek Roscoe or a rock hopper or something like that. But I think the mountain bike culture, what it's always done is that friends kind of push each other to ride hard. Is I think 90% of our demo attendees were somewhat beginner.
Okay.
riders,
okay,
looking to try a it's like us driving like a Honda Civic and going to a place where like, hey, here's a Ferrari or a Camaro. You're like, this is amazing, right? So it wasn't. I didn't necessarily see it turn into a ton of sales, but it turned into like a more allowing people to try an experience. And this is our 4 gravel bikes were out the whole time at a mountain bike demo event, which is kind of so you got mountain bikers that like already have mountain bikes coming. They're like, hey, you guys represent mountain bike gravel.
I saw that flyway go out on the trail several times.
The small flyway was out all day. The suspension went out a couple times. Entry-level mountain bikes like the Black Thorns and a few other ones went out a lot. I gotta say, being Yeti who they are, those bikes went out all day because people don't have the chance to ride Yetis, right? So it was a very cool balance of seeing people that are just trying to. We had couples, we had dads and sons, we had a couple people from the event come by that were just trying something new. An Epic, a Spearfish, an ASR, and so we do have those people that are doing these doorbell events that always. The question is like, what's a good judgment day bike? What can I pedal all day? And so the Spearfish was out all day. Yeah, Spearfish.
Specialized.
Yeah, the Epic. Yeah, the Epic. Yeah. People just want to go faster and lighter. I think when people get comfortable on a trail bike, they realize they could go a little shorter, a little faster, a little quick. So it was great. Our reps did a great job. Again, it was one of those events that we loved doing that, but this was one that was purely like, I think 90% of like riders were getting into mountain biking. Right?
Okay.
A friend had a bike or they're, whatnot. North Shore's a great place to learn. Now, it being 120 degrees is most people did like 1 or 2 trails, and then they were back, back to the trailer. But we plan to do more. It was great. It was pure successful. I couldn't say anything other than that it worked well. It doesn't always have to turn into sales. It just has to
No. I get.
Yeah, like getting the experience, and that's why I joke that the gravel bikes were out all day. We had mountain bikers coming up, going, "Hey, do you have a gravel bike I could try?" Like I've been looking into it, and we both know as well. But that's the biggest thing.
I was keeping a tick sheet all day long,
Yeah.
of keeping track of how many people were on flats versus clipless.
Still for sure all day, just 'cause
E-bikes, the percentage of e-bikes versus traditional bikes and all that other stuff.
I think in our area where unfortunately now we don't have any more rain coming, but these past couple months where we get people that love their mountain bike every single day, every day, and they kind of get blocked off by it. That was the same customer coming up. They're like, hey, so when the trail's closed for a couple months, I want to ride a gravel bike. That's what we all had to do last year.
Right.
So those are those are probably the most like coolest thing to see. But
Sail
so
we got a gravel bike sail out of that demo.
yeah,
That's interesting.
it is. And again, it's our area. As people see these trails and they go, well, we don't necessarily have to go like ride North Shore to just go hit the dirt.
Yeah,
And people could ride through Hat Shelter, ride through Flower Mountain, wherever they may be.
that's a BC40
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
set up for Doom drop bar. It
Gotcha.
doesn't come drop
Okay.
bar. It's a flat bar.
Okay. Kind of threw me there for a second.
Yeah. I was just looking. I've only
Gotcha.
seen 132 in the Doom so far. I didn't scroll this, so
I think Tour Divide, if you look at the Tour Divide bike, it should be single speeds coming back hard.
yeah.
I mean,
The single speed record was set this year.
I saw that guy.
It was 3 new records this year.
So maybe in the world of single speed, the bigger wheel, like things like that are like popping up really strong, right? It's all about momentum buildup type thing.
Yeah. Carrying
Yeah.
momentum.
Where'd you?
If there were any, I didn't see any 32ers in the Tour Divide rigs.
No.
And all the checks here, see?
Mm-mm.
No, I don't believe there were any 32s on the Tour Divide, but I think there'll be something at Leadville.
It's all these new testing grounds.
There's definitely going to be some controversy around Leadville. Leadville can't escape controversy. It's like Mid-South with good weather. It just doesn't happen for most of the...
So what else is new and exciting, Bradford?
Man, not a whole lot. Dinners, just steady making salamis. I was trying to think of bike stuff. I'm excited with that GrowTac. Did you see that? So this is what I've been asking for
Right.
a while. So these are traditional
Levers or
drop bar
hoods
levers, hoods, but you can mount blips in
for your
for your
electronics.
electronics. So you can run 10 or 12 speed and you can still run mechanical brakes,
Okay.
which is, I know I'm like you like to say, niche upon niche upon niche, but wireless shifting or mechanical brakes, until now you had to choose.
Yep.
And so this is
I bet they listen to Shiftless. That's where they got the idea.
maybe.
We ought to get a licensing fee for
I'm sure
that.
somebody else thought of it before me.
We ought to get but here's what you need to do.
Mhm.
Not for tomorrow night, but after you get back on the bike a little bit,
Mhm.
you need to take that Spearfish for a ride. I want to hear what your thoughts are on that thing.
Okay.
I was really impressed by it, but I think it's that bike. I really do, but I need to prove that to myself now. So I got to ride some other full suspension bikes to see what the current state of full suspension
Fair
really
enough.
is. So I'm going to admit it. I've been wrong about full suspension. It might be the way to go around here, but 120 millimeters is plenty.
It's a lot more than you think it is, especially in the rear. 120 millimeters is a lot of travel in the rear. I mean, for the trails we ride around here, I mean, I would argue at Knott Creek, 120 millimeters is too much. I mean, you could ride a hardtail out there, no problem. There's only maybe 4 sections where
Understood.
it's rough and chunky.
Understood. It was taking it out to Horseshoe and just seeing the difference. It's
Yeah.
like, wow, it's just motoring right up everything, no problem whatsoever, which was contrary to what I've had before. And now, sir,
Yes, sir. I didn't want to interrupt.
Nice
Oh.
to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. We'll see you guys again.
Yes,
it
sir.
was good to see you. Shall we pack it up?
Yeah, I think so.
Tell them what to do, Bradford.
Go ride your bike.